Now I'll be looking at rounding to 2 DP and rounding to 2 SF at the same time. Right, when you're rounding to 2 decimal places, you're looking at everything on the, you're ignoring everything on the left hand side of the decimal point, just for the time being. So think now, what comes after 2? What comes after 2 is 3. So we look at the third digit. We're looking at the third digit after the decimal point. First, second, third. Ask yourself the question, is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. And because it's a yes, that 3 becomes a 4. And everything else as it is. So that's 146.63 becomes 146.64 this time. Right. First, second, third. We're looking at the third digit. Ask yourself the question. Yes, it is. So it's 0.35. Right. Looking at the third digit after the decimal point. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. 95, 90, 95, 96. What if that was, well, let's make that 2 this time. Look at the third digit after the decimal point. Is it 5 or more? No. So everything else stays the same. So that's to 2 decimal places. So here we got, that's to 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, as required. This one looks a bit tricky. We look at the third digit. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. So what happens to the 9? Well, it's going to become 10. So what's 9 add 1? It's 10. Carry the 1. So now we've got 163 plus 1 is 164. But because we want it to 2 decimal places, we need to preserve those 2 digits after the decimal point. So what the answer looks like is like this. That's the answer, to 2 decimal places. Now running to 2SF. Right, so we're not bothered about the decimal point now, the position of the decimal point. So we just look at the, that's the first digit now. Second digit, we're looking at the third digit. So after 2 is, after second is third. So that's the third digit. Ask yourself the question, is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. So the 83 becomes 84. And then make sure you've got the zeros underneath. Right, that one's the third one. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. 23 becomes 24. Next. Right, we can ignore this. That's not the first digit. Ignore the zeros to begin with. So we got the first, second, third one. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. It becomes 0.38. This one, we're not ignoring this 0 because it doesn't begin with zeros, does it? If it was like this, we could have ignored the zeros, but we can't ignore because there's a number here. There's a significant number here. So, start off with first, second, third. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. So the 10 becomes an 11. So just making sure we've got a 2SF number here, all ending in zeros. We've got a 2SF number. Ignore the 0 to begin with. We've got a 2SF number. Even that one is a 2SF number. And we've got a 2SF number here. If you're rounding to 3 decimal places, you look at the, if you say you want to round to 3 DP, so you look at the 4th digit after the decimal point and then ask yourself the question. If you're rounding to 3SF, you look at the 4th digit and then ask yourself the same question.